Hello and welcome everybody. My name is Savage and today we're going to be having a look at ADA. First off, I'd like to say thank you for watching the video, and if you'd like to show your support, please smash that like button, hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. We're almost at 100 subs. Would really appreciate it if you could smash that button up and tip us over the edge there. And leave us some feedback in the comment section below. Okay, so let's get into the price action. So there's a few things that can be going on here, and we're basically sort of monitoring some levels to see whether we can invalidate some of the options. But for the most part, there is quite a lot of potential options going on here. So let's have a look at what we got. So at the moment, I'm looking at this. There's a few ways of looking at it, but we can look at this as a completed A, B, C into this high as an A wave, and then we could be looking to complete this B wave to the downside as a corrective pattern, forming basically a B wave here, and then we could potentially look to push up again in a C wave. So like I said, there's a few options, but with this option we could be looking to target out this 3293 should this just develop as a basically a 333 or 335. This could be an area that we could look to target out. Though as long as we stay below this 3443 area, we need to just be aware that we could still see some extension within this area. And what I mean by that is the fact that we have this 5-wave move down at the beginning here, and it's possible that we could always extend further where this becomes a 1 and then this becomes a 2 and we look to push down. We're going to go over that option in a second. But basically what we'd be looking out for here is within this move, if I zoom in, we can see that we have this as a A wave down into this low, a B wave up into here, and then a C wave potentially looking to target out this 0.2988 to 0.2966 area. So like I said, this could just be a completed correction, and then we look to move to the upside. Now the key thing here will be how high we can get with this move to the upside, or if in fact we just break down past this 2953 area. If we break down past this 2953 area, this 3293 area becomes invalidated, and it's more likely that we're going to be moving to the downside. So if I get rid of, let me turn off this quickly, and we're going to go over the upside potentials first, and then we will go over the downside potentials. So if I flip on this bullish upside potential here, so what we were looking at here initially was that we could have a 1-2 and a 1-2 here, though it's becoming very unlikely at this point. And even when we first did the video, basically I said because we'd have to treat this as a diagonal, it already becomes less likely because it's more likely that it's just the end of this move here as an ABC. So they're not as reliable as just plain old 5-wave moves. But until we break below this 30-cent range, we can keep this as a potential option. If this does play out, confirmation would be coming by moving back above this 34.87 area, and that would be a common area for this third wave to travel. And we can see that we're starting to break down here. It's whether we hold this low. We could see this develop as a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 as a smaller 5-wave move, make a setback, and then start to move up. Though that being said, we wouldn't want this to loiter around too much. We would actually want to start seeing some volume come in and see some progression to the upside should this be playing out. And that's because effectively within this option, we would be within a third of a third wave. So we'd want to start seeing some real volume and impulsiveness coming through. So that would effectively take us up to this third wave high. Should it develop, then we would be looking for an additional fourth and a fifth, which could take us as high as this 37 to 36 area. Although, like we've said before, basically it depends on how the structure forms within these waves, and that governs more where we're going to end up than these fib levels here, as these are just sort of a roadmap. So moving down below this 30-cent area would invalidate the yellow 5-wave move, and then the yellow circled 5-wave move, and then moving down below this 2953 would invalidate the other 5-wave move here, this one that's not circled. This is not very likely in my opinion. I just feel like we're going to be going down first before we have any upside. So therefore we now switch over to that. So within this move, we're looking at a few things if I zoom out here, and what you can see here is I can actually get rid of that now. We were looking at this as a potential what we're looking for is this as a potential diagonal move from the top here. And what we would be looking for is this is a 1, 2. Then we'd be looking to form this wave 3 to the downside over here. Basically looking for this third wave low, then a fourth wave, and then an additional fifth wave as a zigzag. So currently we could be looking to do this, and we can treat this as, if I switch this on here for 1 second, this one. So we can look at this as a wave into here with a B wave triangle, and then we're looking to break down now in a 5-wave move, and we could look at this as a 1 and a 2, and looking for confirmation by crossing below that 2715 area. Should we cross below that 2715 area and we don't have further extension, a potential target area could be this 2661 to this 2587 area, which is just sort of a ballpark figure. It depends on how these waves exactly form. But should we overshoot that, maybe we could look to potentially retest this trend line. If that's the case, we would be looking towards the 25-cent region. From there, we would need to monitor this move to the upside and make sure that we don't get a zigzag. Otherwise, it's likely we're going to get another leg to the downside and break down even further. So the one-to-one of this A wave is actually this 2346. So should we continue to break down, that might be an interesting area for us to look at. And then if we just switch this out now. This is just so this is looking just at this move to the downside, and this is looking that we could have some potential extension within these waves, and it all depends as to how it progresses though. But basically looking at this move, and it's probably easier if I just remove some of this. Actually, let me just remove some of this, and then we'll plot it back in. So looking at this move here, we have this as a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 to the downside. So because we have 5-wave moves within this move here as well, we need to just be careful that even though we're looking at this as a zigzag, when we reach the impulsive trigger of this zone here, which comes down, so if we cross this 2964 area, basically what we could be looking at then is further extension within these waves. And if we manage to cross down past this 2964, then what we could be looking is for an additional fourth and a fifth wave to unfold here. And basically that would look to push up to this 30 cent range again, 30 cent 46. That's a typical 382 retracement before looking to drop down again to this 29.57 to this 29.28. But then once again, because of the fact that we now have a standalone 5-wave move here, we would have to then theorize that we're going to get this into a third wave, move up for a fourth wave, and then continue to break down for an additional wave like this into this 29.20 to 28.82 area. But like we were talking about previously, basically the impulsive trigger that we have currently for this as a third wave is down here at this 2715. So we can see by these subwaves that I've just plotted out here, this is all theoretical. It depends how the waves form exactly. And basically we could see if it does develop like this, it wouldn't reach this impulsive trigger. So we'd have to reevaluate it if it does play out like this and we don't reach this far down, because then what it could just be is that we have just an A, a B, and a C wave to the downside. And what they would be looking at then is potentially targeting out. I can get this on the bottom here. There we go. So we can see this 1-to-1 area is 29.22. So then this could just be a bigger A, B, and a C wave. Though the most likely thing in my opinion is that we're going to be forming a 5-wave move to the downside. So it just might be too early to see how these subwaves are working, because we might get we might be having an extension within this move that isn't apparent. But like basically, if we cross back above this 3290 area, then we would invalidate the potential of this fifth wave target that we've got here between this 2661 and 2587. And if we did break above that, either, like I said before, it would be that ABC, or we would be forming a bigger impulsive target. So now we've got all those things. I hope this helps you out. I just want to say thank you again for all your support, everybody. And please, if you haven't, smash that like button, hit that subscribe button, and leave us some comments. I hope that everyone has a great rest of the day, and until we meet again in the next video, keep safe out there, everybody.